Continuation of platforms, we have talked about all these topics like VM, Docker, and then different kind of things, right? Kubernetes, all those things. So in the same continuation, this time we are going to see how we can use the automation tools or automation pipelines to implement the Postgre on cloud or implement the Postgre on the local infrastructure or on premises. Okay. So so we are going to see all those things. But before that, before doing that, uh, we have to understand what is pipelining and what is the pipelining tools and other thing. Okay. That is more important because without that concept, it will be very difficult for you to understand the end-to-end goal of this particular class or particular topic. First of all, let me show you one photograph. I'm just starting from the DevOps point of view. Also, I'm starting from the automation point of view. Okay, and then I will going to explain you everything. What is pipeline? Okay, so basically using pipeline or using the automation tool, I'm going to show you how we can automate the entire workflow. Okay, just a minute. My pen is not working. 1 second. Okay, so let's do a bit recap what we did last time. Okay, we have used second. Just a minute. We will do small recap and then we will start this particular concept. Okay, so last time we have used AWS CLI command and Terraform to create RDS instance, Postgre RDS instance on AWS infrastructure, right? That's what we did, right? And here we have just executed the scripts directly as part of Postgre installation. Yes or no? Everyone? Hello?
Yes, Abhishek.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you think it is a sustainable model that in the real-time companies, this is the way we can achieve the installation or we can do the installation? No. So the question will arise why? So let's take an example. You are Amazon.com and you have to big billion day sale is coming or something, some your a big event is coming and you need suddenly 100 databases in different region. Let's suppose in APAC you need some database, Europe you need some database, and on the North America also you need some databases. Okay, and you want to implement these databases simultaneously within a few weeks or something. So do you think using these commands, even these commands implement the database, but do you think it is possible we can go and create the databases like that? Technically, do you think it's possible? No, right?
No.
Because because the thing is, these tools is good, but when we talk about the scale, right? When we talk about implementing the big architecture, we can't rely on these tools directly. We need some other technologies or things which can be used by these tools, and they can implement our database infrastructure. Okay, so today I'm just going to show you all these things practically how we can implement it. Okay, so the first thing, before we do all these things, there are two concepts that everyone has to understand. Okay, the first one is, sorry, today my pen is having some issues. I don't know what. So the first concept is pipelines. Anyone understand pipelines with their prior experience or something? What is pipelines? These pipelines are going to be used in multiple places, but let's first understand what is the pipeline. Come again.
Abhishek, it would be great if you increase the font, the size of the pen.
Pen, right? Yes, yes. Actually, unfortunately, it is not. This is good. Is this
Yes.
fine?
That is fine.
Yeah. So pipelines. Any idea what is pipelines? This is very important concept. That's why I'm not jumping into the implementation directly, but I am going to give you some architectural idea also. What is pipeline, how to implement the pipeline, and what is the core concept behind the pipelines. Okay. So basically, pipelines are typically pipelines are automated automated workflows containing single or multiple instructions, scripts, programs, and automated workflow containing scripts, instructions, or any third-party utility getting executed on target. Okay, first kind of pipeline. Also, pipelines are the utility which can help you to travel either data. Let's suppose if this is a pipeline, if I put data, this pipeline particularly, it will select some data from some data source. Let's suppose MySQL, and it on the other side, it will produce the same data or transformed data. Okay. So in other words, pipeline is, you can say, a workflow or automated workflow to execute single or multiple programs on target databases. Pipelines are the program, or pipelines are the you can say end-to-end pipelines, which is used to travel the data from one place to another place. Okay, so we are going to use these two core concepts here in the specific to database administration. There are other pipelines also which we will talk about, but these two pipelines are very important for a database administrator to understand. This particular pipeline, when we are executing any specific task on the target, this is a part of automation. When we are using pipelines to move the data from A to B, these are used in the data engineering or data science or DBS world. Okay, I'm going to talk about everything in detail, but this just in a very high level idea. Pipelines are combination of multiple steps, workflows, and dependent tasks. Another important thing, dependent tasks mean to say, when you are writing a pipeline, there are some scenarios where you are telling that once A is executed, let's suppose A is executed, based on A's execution, let's suppose if it is failed or pass, execute the B. If B is executed or everything is working fine, then execute C. So sometimes it is depending on your workflows, and the whole overall execution is depending on your previous execution. Okay, so like that, Your pipeline is combination of multiple programs, multiple utilities, or any third party systems. Initially it might look like little confusing to you. You might get little confused about it, but gradually when I'll show you on the screen, you will understand about it more. But here, one interview question: how these pipelines are different than day-to-day jobs? Like, let's suppose you have created a cron tab to execute a backup. How your cron tab is different than this particular pipeline or job? What is the core difference? Anyone? Any idea?
Pipelines
So
have more controllability than
Very good. Controllability. Second thing,
like you get an acknowledgement of any failure or something like that. Like if
very
there's any
good.
failure, you'll get an acknowledgement.
Yes, yes. So basically, if this execution starts and this particular step is not executed, my entire pipeline, either it will get stopped or it will go and do the alternative thing. Okay. Uh, Let me tell you one more thing. In the future, in another 5 to 10 years, you might heard a new concept called self-healing systems. Okay, which is already in the existence. Tesla and some big companies like OpenAI and all, they are using the self-healed systems. So the people who are from the Oracle side, they will understand this concept. Let's suppose you have a table space. Table space is 99% full, and you got an alert, you got a page. SQL Server people can think like your C drive is 99% full. MongoDB people can understand like your OPT is 99% full. PostgreDB is, let's suppose your data volume is 99% full. Okay, all this scenario happens, right? MySQL people can think your MySQL data volume is 99% full. What is the remediation part or what is the fix part of this kind of scenario? What we do? We just go and say alter table, table space, add data file or resize data file, right? Just to add the space to the database. Here we will add some file. Here we'll do some cleanup, and finally we will make sure that our storage is not 99% full. At least it has some space, right? All the DBS. This example makes sense, everyone?
yes.
Now tell me one thing. I have 1000 databases. How I can handle these kind of scenario? Do you think if I hire 50% also, or 10 15 people, is it going to make sense? They will able to handle these kind of scenarios every day. I'm ready to hire 15 DBS for 1000 or 10,000 databases. Do you think it will be going to be sustainable strength to manage 10,000 databases, 15 people? No, right?
No, no.
So tell me one thing. Let's take the Oracle's example. How many of you understand Oracle? Or we will take one database which everyone understands.
Postgres.
Postgres. Okay. So let's take an example that my database volume is 99% full. Manually, what we do normally, if we get these kind of issues, we go and remove the unwanted files, right? We remove the old backup files, we purge the log files, right? That's what we do, right? And we try to reduce this utilization to 85% so that error is gone, right? Yes or no, everyone?
Yes.
But in the real time scenario, if I have automation or database pipelines inbuilt to this particular system, my system will itself and go and he will try to identify which files are not required, okay, based on certain automations. For example, in Oracle's world, I can use grid, Oracle infrastructure grid, and under the grid I have an option called scripts. Okay, and my script itself will go and add the table space. If I have written my script in shell, I will simply go and df minus h, and I will understand which particular volume is going 99% high, and my automation will log into that particular uh, volume, and it will distinguish that these particular files are database files and how other files are distributed, and it will send me a report. And based on that, my next automation can trigger and it can handle the task. Anyone automated table space using grid? In the grid, Oracle grid, we have an option called scripts. So Oracle grid can fire the scripts on the agent, and agent can do the task. So in the same way, if you have added a alter table space script in your grid Oracle grid system, automatically that script can be fired based on the certain matrices. Okay, so I'm talking about those kind of automations. Okay, so basically automations can be declarative, where I'm just declaring my automation, it will go and it will get executed on my target. Okay, first option. My automation can be interactive. Interactive mean to say I will say take option A, option B, and option C. For database option, from the database point of view, I will say hostname, port, then username, password, and then I will say backup. And this automation will go and start getting executed on my target side. Okay, this is one kind of automation, declarative and interactive. Declarative means everything is declared. I have simply go and execute my script like the plain shell script. But interactive, where I'm interacting with my automation. Today I'm going to show you the interaction one and declarative one both. Okay. Let's understand one more core concept when you are writing these kind of automations. It's topology. Okay. So topologies are nothing but the way your automation is going to work. Okay, these things rarely people are going to tell you, but let me tell you because we are already talking about all those things. So either your automation will be direct one-to-one, mean to say you have one task, this is your automation and this is your target. It will go and execute one task and it will come back like that. Okay, single task automation. But you will also see nested execution automations where your script is going and executing multiple things like this. Again, this will execute 2-3 tasks. So this kind of automation called nested automations, where a single script is going to perform multiple tasks. Okay, and if any task fails or if any execution fails, your automation will come back and say, boss, this particular step got failed. Do you want to review it or can I go with the alternate approach? Okay, so you can write alternatives also in your automation. Okay, all those things. Second thing, there is another kind of automation called broadcasting automation, where you are executing your script and it will get broadcasted to multiple systems. Okay, so what is the example of broadcasting automation? I have a Postgre database. I want to upgrade then my Postgre from 11 to 12. So what I will do, I will simply write a Ansible script and I will just give the host group. These are nothing but host group. And I will simply run my automation. Automatically my script will log into all these systems and it will execute my upgrade. Make sense?
Yes.
These kind of automations, different topologies, different thing. So why I'm talking about all these things, because today I'm going to show you Jenkins. And just a minute, I think one student is calling me. Just a minute. So these are the different waves of automations, and there are still further more automations that is available in the market. But if you understand at least these few topics or few the concepts, you can write your own automations. Okay, now let's understand about pipelines. Why do we bother about pipeline? Why we are talking about pipeline here? Why this is more important, and why people who understand about pipelining kind of technology becomes more important in the system rather than core DBS. Okay. First of all, can someone give me the example of pipeline? Anyone knows any use case of pipeline? Anyone? What is the common use case of pipeline?
Pipeline we are using for OS patching.
Very good.
Then
Basically,
we can use
your
database upgrade.
pipeline is basically okay, got it. So you are using it for database patching, and you are executing it manually, or you are using any third-party tool?
No, we are using Jenkins. So we have recipe in the chef. Okay.
Okay. So that particular chef is getting executed on,
Correct.
yeah.
Jenkins.
So
Yeah.
people who don't know chef is a alternative of Ansible. Okay. Chef is an alternative of Jenkins. Using chef, you can write the scripts and you can achieve the automation. Okay. It is same like your Ansible. Okay. One use case for patching. Another use case. Anyone else?
DDL
We are using
automation.
ETL, yeah.
ETL, very good. Patching. ETL.
DDL automation.
Okay.
DDL
ETL.
automation.
DDL auto. DDL.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
got it. So are you executing shell script, Python script, or you have your third party tool like Flyway or something?
Yeah, Flyway integrated with
Flyway is integrated.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you are just executing the Flyway. Today, just, pardon me, my pen is not working properly. So I don't know what is happening. So DDL automation. Anyone else?
So we are using ETL. So we are using the Pentaho tool. So will it be taken as ETL, exception transform and loading?
ETL.
So
Very
ETL.
good. You are using ETL. Okay. How many of you, these we have just talked about three things. How many of you doesn't understand this? First of all, there is no worry. You can ask anything. If you don't understand, just raise your hand. Okay. One more. Anyone else? Because this is very important to understand. Otherwise, there is no point of I am teaching you automation or anything. Because okay. Anyone else who doesn't understand at least these three things? Okay. Uh, what do you understand about patching? What do you mean by patching? Anyone? Susan, what is patching? Do you understand the patching from the database point of view?
So
What is
usually we
patching?
do whenever
Like
you
if any
upgrade
updates
and
come
you
on the
have
voice level.
many major versions versus minor versions. We
Mhm.
usually do patches on minor versions.
Great. So patching is just to upgrade
Update.
the binary or software or version, or bringing the next higher version or higher patches to the system. What do you understand by DDL? Anyone? What is DDL?
Yeah, it is a data definition language. I mean, with the help of this, we can execute some flyway scripts using pipelines.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very good. What is ETL? Why do we need ETL in our system? Why ETL is so important nowadays? And why a DBA should understand ETL according to me? Data pipelines, ETL.
ETL is exception transform and loading. And nowadays we are moving from one database to another. So that is why it is popular.
Very good. So let me give you another example. ETL is one of the part of, yeah, Sheikh, you want to ask something? You raised your hand. Or it is the old one? Okay.
No, it is old one, yeah.
Okay, got it. Because you are clear at least till here. 3 points, high level.
Yes.
Okay. So we have ETL and we also have ELT. Okay. We'll talk about more when we will go into that in the future sessions. So like that, I'm just taking 3 use cases. So ETL is nothing but data analytics, where you are fetching the data from the different sources and you are making the reports, or you are making some kind of data to present into further into dashboards or give it to next system. Okay. So why do we need ETL? For example, let's suppose I want to understand how my company is doing financially. I want to understand my revenue part. I want to understand my finance part. So what I will do, I will simply go and write a ETL pipeline, and I will get all the data and I'll get the reporting. And I will say, okay, my company is profitable or not. Okay. For those kind of scenarios, what you do, you write ETL pipelines. Okay. All those things. So back to our main topic. So to implement all these things, we are using nothing but data pipelines, right? Or execution pipelines. Or in other words, let me explain you everything, then you can think of it. Like let's suppose it can be a data pipeline, it can be an implementation pipeline, it can be a very important thing. What is this? This is very important. CI/CD pipeline. So what do you mean by CI/CD pipeline? CI/CD pipeline is nothing but combination of these kind of tasks, DDLs. Okay, where you are just going and executing the code on the databases, or you are doing some kind of deployments. We are also running the configurational related pipelines, where your system is going and executing the task related to configuration. Okay. So now, are we clear at least till here? What is pipelines and what are the different things that we should understand related to pipelines? At least basic idea. At least
Yes.
we are clear. Some basic idea only I need, then I will take it to the next level. Tell me one thing, can we make a database backup pipeline also?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can make database pipeline also. Okay. Okay. So from the DBA point of view, you have to just understand what is pipeline, how the pipeline works, and how we can do these kind of pipelines. Now, let's understand the things very from here onwards. Now, let's understand the things from the solutioning point of view. Okay. So, let me take a good photograph. Okay. What is this basically? Basically, what is this happening here? Anyone? A person is standing here, and based on his instructions, people are playing different people are
Orchestra.
playing different instruments.
Instrument.
So overall, what they are doing, they have a common, they got a track, or they got a music which is decided already. Let's suppose they are playing national anthem, they are playing some XYZ song, so that song is decided, but these all people are playing that particular music. And who's this guy?
Orchestrator.
Orchestrator. Very good. So what is the job of orchestrator?
To organize the complete
To
uh,
the to organize the complete execution. This guy is orchestrator, and these people are basically, these other people are just executors, right? These side of the database, this side of the portion of the picture are playing this particular instrument, right? It's a different instrument, right? I would say this is database. These side of the people are playing some different instrument. I will say they are from the application side. These are the people are from a different execution. I would say they are from the CI/CD. These side of the people are playing something else. I will categorize them into the implementation pipelines, IC. Okay. So basically, if we combine everything, what is going on here? If we combine everything, we are doing nothing but we are just doing a DevOps kind of option or DevOps kind of environment. In other words, if you don't want to consider it DevOps, you can say in a company, we are running the whole automation framework, right? That is also fair to say, right? We have automation framework, which is handling my entire database, entire company related infrastructure. Let's suppose these people are belongs to your ETL. Okay. So what this guy is doing here, what is his job? Basically, his job is to give the signal to everyone that what time which execution supposed to happen. Yes or no, right? He is executing based on few parameters. One is time, another thing is execution method, and third thing is the input, right? That's what is happening. This guy can be automated. This can be semi-automated. Some part of the things will be automated, some part will be still manual, and some automation might be self-managed. Okay, it will be little confusing initially, but I'll explain you more. Fully automated means the whole setup is automated. It happens just based on certain incidents or based on certain things, it happens. Semi-automated means, let's suppose 50% of the things are automated and 50% things are not automated. They are still manual. So I will say semi-automated. Self-help or self-help is basically kind of automation method where I'm going to get a portal and I'm going to get different jobs. Let's suppose one job for implementation, one for something like that. For some is for database, some is for application CI/CD. The moment I will execute these jobs, the specific task will happen. So I'm going to get a self-help page or self-help system. Okay, I'm going to show you today this also self-help. Okay, so now this is nothing but the entire orchestra which is happening, and this guy who's in the center, who's the orchestrator, is executing the entire orchestrated system. Okay, now let's go and uh, expand our understanding about orchestration is like some common methods that we have to understand. First thing is the orchestration tool. What are the orchestration tool that we should understand? We should understand about Jenkins in the initial level, at least very small part, because we are not DevOps people. We are going to work as a DevOps DBA or the automation expert related to the database. So understanding Jenkins fully, it's not our job. We will understand on the basics and the execution part. Jenkins is not going to execute everything or anything by its own. It's just a orchestration tool. He is this guy. Okay. He should understand at least, or he should execute at least one language or further tool to execute the task. So what will be the executors to execute the task after Jenkins, or Jenkins can use, or scripts or language?
Recipe.
Terraform.
Very good. So when you say recipe, what do you mean by recipe? What is the recipe? Recipe is nothing but combination of scripts, right? Or tools, right? Right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Combination of tools. Terraform. What else? What else? Python or shell script, right?
Mm.
That also we use, right? We are using third-party tools. Furthermore, okay. another important concept. These are just a implementation side of the thing, right? Where we are just using these tools to implement something. Okay. But what about the configuration and other management? Okay. So another important concept, configuration management and implementation management. Two things we have to understand, right? So here we are going to use the configuration management also. So what tools we can use for the configuration management? We can use Ansible, we can use Chef, we can use Puppet. Okay, all these kind of tools we can use, and we can combine these kind of things, and we can build our own systems. Okay, and today we are going to do the same thing. Okay, makes sense at least till here? I'm not taking it further because it is going to be little confusing or boring also for the people, but at least do we understand this before I do my practical?
Yes.
I will use Jenkins. I will use my AWS CLI command, AWS CLI, which we have prepared in the last class, and I'm going to execute it. Okay. I got a suggestion saying that we should take a frequent break. Someone told me. So is it fine if we take a break, but this time we'll take very short break, 10 minutes break, or we will take the break after 1 hour? What do you think? Or can we take a
After
short
1 hour.
break after 1 hour? What about others?
After 1 hour.
After 1 hour. Okay, so let's take a break after 1 hour. So let's do one small practical session where what I am going to do, I'm going to show you how you can install Jenkins. The first thing, we will install Jenkins. Second thing, under the Jenkins, we will create a AWS CLI script, and my AWS CLI script is going to execute on AWS infrastructure. And we will talk about furthermore automations or implementation methods for these kind of tasks. Okay, so let's log into my server quickly. This is my server. You might get little bit confused. I know that's why before doing the practicals, I have given you some idea about these all kind of things so that you understand it well. So in case any point of time, if you get confused or you are not able to understand what I'm trying to do here, just stop me and ask about your doubt. Okay. All are clear till here what I'm going to do? Because this is going to be your base for the next classes.
It's a EC2 machine. SSH root. What's that?
This one, this is my server in my house basically.
Oh.
This is an Intel NUC server that I have installed it. So to run the Jenkins, we have to install the Java. This is prerequisite. I will give you the documentation also along with the recording. So I'm just installing the Java. You can also use your Vagrant machine, which we have talked about in the previous sessions, right? You can use the Vagrant machine and you can install that. I'm going to do everything in front of the screen so that people are clear what I'm doing, how I'm doing the integration and everything, so that I can show you everything from beginning to end. Okay. How many of you understand Jenkins? How many of you understand the Jenkins? Or how many of you they are not aware of Jenkins? They just heard the name.
We are using Jenkins in our
Hmm? Okay.
Migration.
Okay. No
I
problem.
just heard for the first time.
Oh, your good name? Sorry, I was watching
Rizwan.
my Which one? Okay, you heard it first time. No problem. So this is in our course. We are going to use Jenkins more and more. So that's why I have getting introduced yourself to the Jenkins. Because I don't want you to do the typical classical DBA work. I want to modernize your knowledge. Yeah. Someone was asking some question.
Yeah, so in Jenkins, I mean, we can build the, I mean, code or either recipe and we can test
Anything,
and deploy.
anything. So this team can play any song, right?
Mm.
If they have the music, if they have the instrument, they can play any song, right? This guy can instruct or orchestrate any song, right? In the same way, Jenkins is just an executor. You can execute anything based on your requirement, and I'm going to show you that from the beginning to end, everything
From the scratch.
from the scratch. So my Jenkins is up and running. How I can access my Jenkins? I will simply go to my server and I will type 192.168.1.6. 8080 is the default port of Jenkins. So I got the Jenkins. Now what I have to do? I have to simply get the temporary password, which is my temp password, which I get first time. This is my temp password. I will simply paste it here. First time it will give you a temp password. Okay. Install suggested plugins, select plugins to install. Let's take the suggested plugins. Sometimes this part can take little long, so don't worry. Whenever you are planning to install Jenkins, do the installation ahead of the time, so that in case if any of these things are failing or they are not updating. Today is Saturday and Sunday. Majority of the time Saturday, Sunday is super fast to connect to their Jenkins repository. But sometimes in the peak hours, Sushan, you are asking something. Yeah, I see your hand raised.
No, it was in the
Hold
past
one,
for the other
hold one.
question.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, no problem.
Abhishek,
Hmm,
regarding this Jenkins, okay,
hmm.
the like in production system, if we want to install this, this is the only way, or do we have any other methods as well?
This is the only way you can automate this entire setup using your shell script or any other execution pipeline.
Okay,
Like
so
this, you can install.
okay, so Jenkins installation part would be this one only, right? Enabling the Jenkins and then go log in into that particular IP address using that port and the workflow that you're doing right now, right?
Correct, correct. Very good.
Okay,
So Jenkins will be going to deploy in a different machine altogether. You can also deploy Jenkins on Docker, and Jenkins is going to connect like this. This is going to be center of your
okay,
it will be placed in center of your infrastructure. But
okay,
don't install Jenkins on your database servers directly. Don't install Jenkins on your application servers directly. That's not the correct way of doing it.
okay.
You should always install it on a different server.
All right.
My
So
personal
then,
preference is to install it on Docker.
okay. So you need all network
Hmm,
configuration done as well, right? Because from source
correct.
to target, you need all the port openings and everything. Okay.
Everything. Very good.
Mhm.
So if you're using Jenkins, make sure your ports are open. 3306, 5432, 1521, 17017. So all these databases ports must be open, whatever you want to achieve. Or you want to
Understood.
achieve, yeah, great. Any question meanwhile it is getting installed? You can ask any question meanwhile. Yeah, go ahead. You can ask.
Um, Hey, so where was this address in the terminal, the 192.168 that you had to come
Mhm.
here and to do the next steps?
So this is my computer's IP. So this is my server's IP. And
Okay.
after installing the Jenkins,
Mhm.
this is the default port. This is the default port of Jenkins.
Yeah, but how did you know that, you have to put that IP and the port in the web address? Did it give you an instruction, or was a log file there to
No.
tell you that
So,
information?
okay. So, I will give you two ways. First thing, 8080 is the default port for Jenkins. First of all, it is there in their documentation. Also,
Mhm.
what you can do, you can also grip the Jenkins process. So let's suppose lsof, and it will give you the Jenkins configuration, Jenkins related details. Let's suppose I'm logging into this server first time, and I don't understand where is my whether Jenkins is installed or not. First of all, so like this, I will get the idea whether Jenkins is running here or not, here in this server. So I got the confirmation. Okay, Jenkins is running, and after that, what I will do, I will simply go. I will get the config file. Okay, so I would see. Okay, so this is the config file, and it's not coming here. So I will go to the default location, cache. One second. Let me show you the Jenkins config file also. Using, after reading that, you can understand that it is running on which port. So first of all, you will log into the server. You will run simply lsof command. It will tell you that Jenkins is there or not, or running or not. Okay. And once you have that, you can simply go and you can read the Jenkins file. One second. Okay. Script config. So this is my config file. Okay. I will simply
Mm.
go and view this config file. Under that, it will 5000 second.
Abhishek, I think it is for Docker, right? The configuration file that you have started.
Yes, I think I have chose the wrong one. So this, no, there is another file which holds the port. One second, let me find that.
So, Abhishek, in the netstat, we can find out, right, which port it is
Netstat,
using.
yes, netstat we can find out, but the question is how we will come to know which file we are, which port we are using. So
So in
netstat,
that case, we'll just after the installation, we can do a netstat and check the uh, the port, the maybe the port, not the port, the process itself.
the thing about Jenkins is it runs Java process. But when I log into any new server, what we do, we simply go to the particular config file and we just grep the port. So let's see If that will, I just want to find that particular config file. Admin.
I think somebody pasted in the chat.
Sysconfig. 1 minute. I don't think here Jenkins will go. It creates its own config file. 1 second. I know how to find it. 1 second. In Alma Linux, it might be not Docker TDA Jenkins. So one second.
Do we have a folder in var lib Jenkins? Can you check there?
Yes.
Var lib Jenkins.
1 second.
And then do ls happen LTRH.
System CTL status Jenkins. Let me go to the service file. There is a place where it defines its port actually. See here. So
Okay.
simple thing is just go to the service file from the status command. First time if you are doing, or let's suppose you have logged into client server and you have to find the port. So simply do cat. Make sure you use grep -i because this is case sensitive. Okay. So like that, it will give you the port.
So after the installation was completed, did it tell you to go to 198 dot the IP address port 8080 once you install the Jenkins and you enabled it? You're on mute if you're talking.
Sorry, I got muted. So this is the question which you were asking, like.
No. I mean, I know that you can get the IP address and you could find now the the port also. But when you install the Jenkins, right? After that, you straight came to the web page and you put the address and the port number there. So does it tell you in the terminal itself that
No,
you can now
no.
access?
So I did the Jenkins installation multiple times, and the default port is 8080. Like you work on which database?
I work on MySQL and also on
MySQL.
Postgres.
So like that 3306 by default, I know that's MySQL port.
Right.
And if you are not aware, let's suppose some people does not use 8080 because 8080 is a very vulnerable port, quite popular port, and hackers know this port, right? So majority of the time we just change this port after the Jenkins installation. So this is the another way you can find your Jenkins port like this. In case if in your environment port is changed. So this is the another way. Make sense now, everyone? How to find the port?
Abhishek, can you go into /var lib Jenkins?
/world lib Jenkins. Here also we have config file, right? You're talking about this, right?
Yes.
I think it is not using this port. The config is not using this particular option from here. It is using from the service level in my environment, basically in Alma Linux or Red Hat
Okay.
Enterprise Linux. Yeah. You can also create your own config files also in case if you want to change any configurations. Make sense, everyone?
Okay.
After the installation, how you will do everything? Is it clear at least?
Also,
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, please,
also
Vikas.
you mentioned you personally like Jenkins to run in a Docker environment.
Hmm.
Why is that?
Because it is like Android Play Store. It's not like
Okay, you just
Apple
pull the
Store.
Jenkins image.
Yes, I can pull the Jenkins image. I can pull n number of plugins. I have thousands of options. I will show you
So just
personally.
for ease, you use,
Just for the
you
ease.
prefer.
Second, yes. The second thing is the the good thing is when I'm using Jenkins, I have thousands of things available to do. Where if I want to do the same thing on other orchestration tools, I have to pay money. Okay. For example, I have the entire suite free of cost. I'm not paying a single money to any of the things. Even if I need, I need a plugin to be installed, I can simply get it. Okay. It is very, very powerful tool. I personally like it. I can achieve anything from the Jenkins. In other words, okay. It provides me thousands of plugin. See here, AWS. I have AWS plugins available. Google. I have Google plugins available. Like that, I have thousands of plugin available here. So anyone understand about plugin? First of all, I know it is some little bit
It
confusing
just
for everyone.
adds a extra
Ah,
functionality over your
extra
native.
functionality from the native. Let's suppose you bought a new Android phone and you want to achieve certain functionality. So what you do, you go to Play Store and install the small app, right? So same thing we are doing here. Okay, guys, are we clear here till here? If you have a single percent doubt, don't accept my words. Please stop me here itself because you might get confused after this. So any doubt, anything which is bothering you in your mind. If you say, Abhishek, I deny your teaching, I don't understand it. Please tell me from the beginning. I'm completely fine with that. But is it clear so far? Everything, at least these
So
things are
one
clear.
question,
Mhm,
I have one question. So
mhm,
Abhishek, so we are right now what we are doing, we are deploying or we are
mhm,
creating our RDS
mhm,
database
mhm,
via Jenkins. Okay.
mhm, mhm,
So what I have seen, so
mhm,
database installation and setup is one-time activity, which
mhm,
we do once in a month, once in a year,
mhm, mhm,
like
mhm,
that.
mhm,
We never got the
mhm,
requirement to
mhm,
deploy thousands of instance or thousands of
mhm,
these,
mhm, mhm.
or every morning this instance, or every
Correct.
morning I need a new RDS instance.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I am confused why we are relating our setup with Jenkins.
Okay. So basically, when I know it is not a day-to-day thing that we do, but as we are talking about the installation and we want to modernize our knowledge because in other courses, other YouTube videos, they just talk about the installation, but they never talk about the Docker. They never talk about the Vagrant automation installation. They never talk about the pipeline way of implementing the installation. So this is just an idea that I am giving you that this is the another way you can use to implement your infrastructure. I know you are not going to do it on day-to-day wise, but at least you will get an idea that how you can implement your infrastructure using this. So I'm just giving modernizing your knowledge basically by this tool.
Okay.
Okay, and also you will get an idea that how you can implement things in your office. Let's suppose you want to
Yeah,
automate a back.
possibilities.
Yes, possibilities. At least from today onwards, I am sure that in this class there are many people who does not understand about Jenkins or CI/CD, or so at least from today onwards, they will start exploring on these directions so that they can achieve all these things in their companies or whatever they want to do. So that is my whole intention. And another thing, in future classes we are going to use Jenkins multiple times, so I want to give you a small overview about it. Make sense, everyone? Do you think it is
Yes.
going to be useful? Okay, so now we got the orchestrator. Yeah, please, someone was telling something.
Yeah, I just wanted to know that in the AWS level, if we have multiple AWS accounts
Mhm,
and we just set up one EC2 instance
mhm,
on some particular account,
mhm.
can it communicate with all the AWS accounts?
No, it's not a good practice to do all the execution. First of all, it can work on a different AWS account using agent method, but I will recommend at least you segregate your AWS account based on your need. Let's suppose production, 5 AWS accounts, dev, different AWS account, like that. But it can be done. Definitely, it can be done. It can execute on multiple AWS accounts. This execution can be done based on the agent method, where you're installing the Jenkins agent everywhere, like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once we install the agent on all the
Mm,
servers and one particular where we drive all
mm,
the
mhm,
scripts, we
mhm.
need to raise a port open request or
Correct. You have
okay,
to open the port. Otherwise, Jenkins will not work.
okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So before we start our work, before we doing our work, let's update one small plugin that I really like. Basically, this plugin gives you a view like this. It gives you a staging view like this. So simply go and get this plugin in your Jenkins server. So settings, plugins, and update this plugin. So staging view will just show me how my execution is happening on a different level. Okay, just to show. I will explain you this also, what I did. Okay, so I know it is too much knowledge. Let's take a break, 15-minute break, and I will continue from here, and I will explain you about some basics of Jenkins also. I will not simply do it because I know for some of them it is very new, but let's understand about that step by step. Are we good so far, everyone? At least basics wise? Everyone?
Yes, Abhishek.
Everyone
Yeah.
is so quiet.
Yes.
That's what I was telling you. In case if you have any question, we can have a discussion on that. So let's meet after 15 minutes. Okay. So after 15 minutes, we'll meet and we'll continue this. Okay, fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Please stop the recording. You can continue.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Raj.